Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to another lesson. We are now on lesson number 24. Dars Rabi' wa Ishurun. We are in this lesson going to look at numbers. So I'm going to count numbers. We are going to start from 1 up to, we'll see where we can end and start explaining. طالب واحد طالبة واحدة طالبان اثنان طالبتان اثنتان ثلاث ثلاث طلاب ثلاث ثلاثة طلاب ثلاث طالبات طالبات أربعة طلاب أربع طالبات خمسة طلاب خمس طالبات ستة طلاب ست طالبات سبعة طلاب سبع طالبات ثمانية طلاب ثماني طالبات تسعة طلاب تسع طالبات عشرة طلاب عشر طالبات. Okay, this is numbers 1 to 10. If this is the first time to hear of this, alhamdulillah, we have arrived to numbers. This is 1 and 2. This right side is it's the mawdud is mudhakkar, or the mawdud, which is the counted one. This one, the one we are saying tulabin, is masculine. And here on the left side is mu'annath, or feminine. So let's have a quick analysis on this one. Numbers 1 and 2. In most cases, you wouldn't find someone saying talibun wahidun. In general terms, you won't find this expression. But when someone says talibun, automatically it means it's one. But if you want to emphasize in expression, you can say talibun wahidun. It means one student. And student is masculine. It's a boy, man. Then in also, you won't find people saying Taliban, Itnan, because it means two students. But if you want to emphasize to say indeed with surely two, you can say Taliban, Itnan. But this means two students, masculine. You can also do the same. Talibatun means one, but if you want to make sure you emphasize it, you can say Talibatun wahidatun. So it means this is mu'annath. As you can see, the mawdud in this case, Talibatun, is the same with the added, the number, wahidatun. They're both mu'annath, with ending with ta marbut, and they're also both mudhakkar, which is, in this case, they don't end with ta marbut. And you can also here see itnan, this is masculine, itnan, and here it is itnatan, which is feminine, mu'annath. Okay. So 1 and 2, they take the same shape in terms of gender. They also denote the same in quantity. Okay, let's look at numbers 3 to 10. So you can see thalathatu tulabin. Here I want you to have a quick look, a closer look. Thalathatu is the added, tulabin is mawdud, which is the counted. The number is thalathatu. Here is mu'annath, and tulabin is mudhakkar. So numbers from 3 to 10, you expect to see this. The number must be mudhakkar and maudud must be mu'annath. Vice versa, the number can be mu'annath and the counted being mudhakkar. This one thing you sure you see. Talatu talibatin. So this talatu is masculine and this maudud talibatin is mu'annath. One another thing you can also check here is the maudud, in this case, tulabin or talibatin. They are both in plural. So you can say talatu talibatin, which means it is the plural of talibatun. So we remove the ta marbuta here and bring alif in open ta to make it plural. And here we say tulabin. This is jamu mudhakkar taksir, which means it's a broken plural. We say tulabin. Another thing you also see in this phrase or in this number, you see the number here is marfu'un dhamma, and here is tanwin bikas. If you remember the concept of mudaf or mudafile, you can relate in this case that the other in this case can be said it's mudaf. If you want to remember very well, it is mudaf, and the maudud is mudafile. So you see kasra, and the number you see dhamma marfu'un. Okay. So these are numbers up to 10. Let's look at numbers 11 and 12. أحد عشر طالبا إحدى عشرة طالبة اثنا عشر طالبا اثنتا عشرة طالبة. There are some few things that we need to take note of. 11 and 12, they have a special case. In this case, when it is 11 and 12, if the maudud is mudhakkar, which means it is masculine, everything becomes the same. So it means the maudud, in this case, the maudud is mudhakkar. Then it means the number is compound as it is when I say compound, I mean it's two parts, ashara wa ahada. It means they are the same in gender. So you don't expect anything to change. Ahada ashara taliban. They are all masculine. Let's look at the opposite. Ihda asharata talibatan. And you can see ihda is opposite in gender of ahada. Ahada, ihda, ashratu, ashara. This is masculine, ashara or ashrata. You can see the difference is clear. It's the same with itna or itnata. Itna is masculine, or itnata is muannath, which is feminine. And you can see tamar buta here. You don't see tamar buta, and you can see tamar buta talibatan, and this is taliban. Another thing you need to take note of, if you look at 10, asharatu tulabi. In numbers 3 to 10, you witness that the maudud was jamu mudhakkar salim or jamu muannath salim. In numbers 11 to 20, say 11 upward, the maudud, we call it tamiz. It is mufrad mansub. Mufrad mansub. As you can see, mufrad taliban. We don't say tulaban. We don't say tulaban. We say taliban. So it means it's mufrad, always mufrad. So we call it tamiz. Tamiz means mufrad and mansubun. Remember, in numbers 3 to 10, it was kasra, majrurun, and here we now have with fatah, which is mansubun. Let's look at numbers 13. The moment you get to 13, numbers change. Concept change. As you can see, ثلاثة عشرة طالبا ثلاثة عشرة طالبة. So you can see the difference. ثلاثة here is mu'annath, but let's look at the compound number. ثلاثة عشرة. Ashara in this case is mudhakkar, and here it is mu'annath. So if mawdud is mudhakkar, it means the last part of the compound number is the same. Ashara taliban, both are masculine. And the first part is opposite, which is talatata, which is with tam or buddha, obviously feminine. Talata ashrata talibatan. If you can identify the compound, last two compound, the last compound number and the mawdud, they are the same. Ashrata is the same as talibatan. These two are same in gender. And the first one, talata, is masculine. So this goes up to 20, up to 20. So you can see what's happening here with numbers. أربعة عشر طالبا أربعة عشرة طالبة خمسة عشر طالبا خمسة عشرة طالبة ستة عشر طالبا ستة عشرة طالبة. So you can actually tell the difference is so clear when it comes to numbers. You just have to get the concept right. ثمانية عشرة طالبا ثمانية عشرة طالبة تسعة عشر طالبا تسعة عشرة طالبا عشرون طالبا عشرون طالبة. Let's look at numbers 20. As you can see, so we're saying numbers 18 to 19, they carry the concept that we were explaining. Now let's look at number 20. 20 is different. Ishrun. Or Ishrun. Ishruna, here Ishrun. The difference is whether the mawdud is mudhakkar or mawdud is muannath. But the number, the adad, is the same. Let's look at numbers 21 to 30. Okay. واحد وعشرون طالبا إحدى وعشرون طالبة. Let's look at here, is the same. The mudhakkar واحد وعشرون. Whether it is mudhakkar or muannath, ishrun doesn't change. We are looking at 20s. Ishrun, whether it's mudhakkar or muannath, is the same. What changes only is the first part of the compound, wahidun. Wahidun, it's mudhakkar, so taliban, mudhakkar. So everything here is mudhakkar. 22, everything here is mudhakkar. Ithnan wa ishrun taliban. So everything is here mudhakkar. Ihda wa ishrun talibatan. Ithnata wa ishrun talibatan. So it means all number and mawdud, mu'annath, and they are the same in gender. Thalathatun wa ishrun. طالبا. So now we are on 23. 23 it's ثلاثة وعشرون طالبا. Look at here. The compound ثلاثة وعشرون is now opposite because the موجود here is now مذكر. So the موجود is مذكر. It means the first part of the compound number, it is opposite. So you can say ثلاثة is opposite to طالبا. The same as ثلاثون وعشرون طالبة طالبة and ثلاثون, these are opposites. And here وعشرون we say it means the same whether مذكر or مؤنث. أربعة وعشرون أربعة وعشرون طالبة. As you can see again, let's clarify on this. When we were on numbers 13 to 19, we saw that the first compound number, the first part of the compound number was fatah, mansubun. Like for example, tis'ata ashara taliban. But look here, is talatu. Talatu here is now marfu'un. That's the difference as well. It's now marfu'un with dhamma. So talatun, not talatu. Talatun. It is different from what we were seeing before here. It was this O in numbers 1 to 3, 1, 3 to 9. It was this O, this 2, it was 1. But here in numbers 23 to 20 to 30, 29, we see that it is tanween. So take note of these changes so that you be able to call out the numbers. And also something that we see here is tamiz. Maudud is tamiz, doesn't change whether it is mudhakkar or mu'annath. It remains singular and mufrad. Other thing as well that you need to take note is the appearance of waw. It's very important. Waw other here, it means hamsatun wa ishruna. Take note of that. We put a waw in these compound numbers from 20. Okay. Then on 29, as you can see, all right, let's look at 30. Talatun taliban wa talatun taliban. Remember, we call these numbers nukud. We call these numbers the numbers, compound numbers, talatun wa ishurun wa kada kada. We call them we call them decades. Oh yes, we call them decades. That means okay. We call them decades. They are when we are talking of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, up to 90. These numbers they take the same shape of Jamu Mudhakkar Salim. This appearance of wow in this, remember in previous lesson we talked about Jamu Mudhakkar Salim. So also in numbers 10, in 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, they also take the structure of Jamu Mudhakkar Salim. Remember, wow, when it is marfuun, you put wow. When it is mansubun, you put ya. When it is majrurun, you put ya. So they appear in this category. Let's have a look at these numbers in detail. Arba'un, arba'un, taliban. Look, we still have tamiz in maudud, singular, mufrad. In maudud, this is one. Taliban. We saying the maudud means the counting. Adada is the number. So this is Maudud and this is An. So Arbaun is 40. So you're 40 students. Arbaun taliban. The difference here is the other one is mudakkar, the other one is mu'annath. This one is mu'annath because of this ta marbut. It shows it is mu'annath. So you've got 40 students, feminine, you've got 40 students, male students. So don't be confused with this one. Hamsoon. Hamsoon. The difference, remember, the Maudud, Taliban, wa Talibatan. That's the difference. Situna, 60. Situna Talibatan. Situna Taliban. Sab'una Taliban. Sab'un Talibatan. Tamanuna Taliban. Tamanun Taliban. Tis'una Taliban wa Tis'una Talibatan. Mi'atun Miyatu Talibin. Miyatu Talibatin. Now we have come to where it ends Tamis. Mis has ended at 90. So we are now getting to 100. I want to say 100 students. What do you say? If they are mudakkar, you say mi'atu talibin. Now the hundreds, the maudud, in this case talibin, is now still mufrad, but it's now majrur. So the same concept that we saw in 3 to 10 appears here is like mudaf, like it is now mi'atu talibin, mi'atu talibin, mi'atu talibatun. So the number added does not change. What changes is the maudud, whether mudakkar or mu'annath. As you can see, talibatin. It's no longer talibatin. Now talibatin, because it's now majrur. Let's have a quick look at numbers 101 and up to 120. Look at it. When you want to say 101 students, what do you say? It's mi'atu talibin wa talibun. Take a look at it. So you write hundreds separately. Mi'atun talibin, the one that we actually said just now, and we say now mi'atun talibin wa talibun. Mi'atu talibatin wa talibatun. This is 101. 102, mi'atun talibin wa taliban. Wa mi'atu talibatin wa talibatan. Okay. Then let's look at 103. Things have changed at 103. Mi'atun wa talatu wa talatatu labin. Look at the change. The same thing that we witnessed in numbers 1 to 10, numbers 3 to 9 is the same we are witnessing here. The maudud is mudakkar, jamu mudakkar taksir, because it's a broken plural in this case. It is jamu. That's what we want to emphasize. It is jamu in this case. It's plural. And what about the numbers? Miyatun is marfuun bit tanwin, wa talatatu, not talatatun, wa talatatu tulabin. So this one, the relationship between mudaf and mudaf. So here there's the addition of miya wa. But if you take here, it's the numbers 3 to 10. We have already 3 to 9. We've already done that. 3 to 9. We only add miyatun wa. Miyatun wa talatatu talibatin. So the same concept that we were seeing in 3 to 9 is the same concept we are seeing here in 100 to 109. We can also say miyatun watis'atu tulabin wa miyatu watis'u talibatin. Don't forget it is Jammu Mudhakkar. In this case, Jammu Mudhakkar Mu'annath and Jammu Mudhakkar as Mudhakkar is well. We need to know the plural of the Maudud. Okay. Miyatun wa ashara wa asharatu tulabin. So we're just adding here miyatun and wa asharatu tulabin. So it's just the same as we were looking at that. Let's have a look at we are going to be looking at in the next lesson. We will continue. Let's have a break as we take a break. You revise this concept so that when we come back, we are looking at 110 up to 1,000. Then we'll see what changes and what to relate in terms of the numbers as we proceed. So we are going to look in the next lesson. Let's meet in the next lesson as we continue with numbers. For now, Jazakallah khairan. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.